Well, in business tonight, the global mining industry is bracing for its biggest shake-up in more than a decade. The world's #1 mining company, BHP Group, has proposed a takeover of Anglo American, valuing the London-based company at nearly $39 billion. Anglo American investors will receive £25.08 per share, or about $31. They'll also get shares in Anglo American Platinum and Kumba iron ore. BHP's bid is a huge bet on copper that analysts say may fuel a scramble for mining assets. Now, that's as a bullish outlook for copper used in everything from cars to power grids has sent prices up 15% in the past year. The benchmark London Metal Exchange copper price hit a 2-year high earlier this week. A merger between BHP and Anglo American would create a behemoth responsible for 10% of the world's copper output, putting it well ahead of its nearest rival. And joining us live from London is our London correspondent, Olly Barratt. Olly, tell us more about this deal. Why is it significant?
Well, it's really just demonstrating the importance of copper in the global economy at the moment. As you were saying, so much copper is required to see the global economy shift towards cleaner technologies in wind, in solar, in electric batteries, and so on. And with prices of copper rising at times as a result over the last year or so, many mining companies are looking to try and get more access to it. And so what this deal would do, if it goes through in this or similar form, would give BHP much more access, in particular to Anglo American's copper activities in South America. Now, we've already been hearing from some of Anglo American's major investors who think that this offer that's been made by BHP significantly undervalues the company. There were also industry analysts who were expecting that there would be some merger and acquisition activity in this sector because of the demand for copper in the coming months. But not all of those analysts had expected that it would be BHP that made this move for Anglo American. It's clearly vast in dollar scale when you look at the potential valuations of the two countries. Anglo's shares had actually been sliding on London markets through the course of this year, but they've very much spiked on the news of that potential bid.
All right, Olly, we mentioned the potential bid. If that goes through, you'd see a merged entity that would have 10%, would be responsible for 10% of the world's copper output. Now, given that dominance, is this likely to draw regulators' attention?
Well, I think the first thing to say on that is that according to the UK's merger and acquisition rules, the first thing that would have to happen would be that a formal bid would now have to be made by BHP with a deadline of the 22nd of May. So not that far off, actually, into the future. And as I was saying, many shareholders in Anglo believe that the bid at the moment significantly undervalues the company. But yes, regulators would absolutely be paying close attention to this deal. There's another reason that it's particularly going to attract attention in various parts of the world, and that is political. Copper being such a strategic interest for economies that have copper reserves within their borders make this something that absolutely countries are going to be paying very close attention to indeed. Another reason that attention will be paid to this deal in South Africa is slightly different, which is that the proposal that BHP is making at the moment is suggesting that Anglo would divest itself of platinum and iron ore activities in South Africa, which are incredibly important to the South African economy in an election year. So all sorts of reasons that there'll be very close attention to this potential deal.
Thanks to Olly Barratt there with the lowdown on this mega deal.